You can do better than that. How are we doing tonight? Alright, there's some energy. That's what I'm talking about. What is this chair for? Somebody weak at the knees for stand-up? I'm just playing. It's all love, bro. I'd love to have a real talent, like playing the guitar. I just tell jokes about having a small dick, which aren't really jokes. Yeah, so it's tough. I got a weird look. I kind of look like the Joker. I look a little bit like Heath back off the ledger. The other celebrity lookalike I got is Macaulay Culkin. Growing up, people would always tell me I looked like Home Alone. And a Jewish summer camp, which my parents sent me to, probably to have a successful marriage. And so they'd send me there for a month, and all the Jewish girls who hit puberty before me, they'd all go, "Do the face." I looked a ton like him. And it's just brutal because, like, through shareboard life choices, I still look a ton like Macaulay Culkin. Neither of one of us has ever wanted to look this way. It's not the move, it's not the plan. It sucks. At least he got to bang Mila Kunis, right? You know? But I didn't have to sleep over at Michael Jackson's house, so you kind of take the good with the bad. It's tough. I came this close to getting molested at a Walmart. I was like 8. Thank God it was just a chill bro. He was just like, "You are in the wrong minivan." I could have gone so badly. I would have needed therapy instead of comedy. I'm in therapy a little bit though. All Jews are in therapy. That's our racket. My therapist is also Jewish. She's 700 years old. She's basically Yoda. I think that's who they base the character off of. And she's always like, "How are you today?" I'm like, you can talk normally. She's like, "This is my voice." That's great. New York Jews rule. Oh man, she's always like, "Your posture's terrible." I'm like, "That is not a therapist question." "You getting enough to eat?" I'm like, "You are not my mother." It's wild. The other thing I'm thinking about with Jews in therapy is, what about if Jesus was in therapy? Because he had a lot of shit to deal with. He'd probably have to do Zoom therapy though, because he was always on the run, right? And so, "Thanks for squeezing me in, Dr. Kleinbaum." She's like, "No problem, Jesus." And they all sound like that, I'm sorry. And she's like, "How are you today?" And he's like, "Not good. Still on the run from the Romans. Last night I looked around the dinner table and I was like, I think one of these guys is going to betray me, It felt like my last supper." "That's interesting, Jesus. Do you feel paranoid a lot?" "Yeah, especially recently. Yeah, Pontius Pilate is after me. It's hard out here for me. I'm worried about catching something from Mary Magdalene. No one's invented condoms yet. I don't know what those are." Jesus is an interesting guy. I got 2 friends who look like Jesus. You guys know them, Marty and Drew. Drew looks like Jesus when he carried the cross up the hill, and Marty looks like after the 3 days when they took him off. So it's a tough before or after. Ozempic doesn't have shit on them. You gotta admire the work ethic Jesus had though. Carries that cross all the way up there. He had great core strength, whatever else people might say about him. Probably came up with that expression, like "pain no gain," That's probably living the line. But it's comedy. It's not a town hall meeting. The other thing I've been thinking about is, what's the deal with New Zealand every time they're in a sporting event? And they always bring out the haka, like that's gonna scare us. Like, you guys watch the Olympics and New Zealand did the haka, and then our basketball team was just completely unfazed and just beat them 100-2. It was brutal. Oh man, that's the only sports reference I have, guys. I don't watch a lot of sports. The other thing that was weird with sports is, do you guys remember when they would fill up stadiums with cardboard cutouts during COVID? Yes. That was so weird. I was like, am I having a stroke? Is this a bad acid trip? I think the worst version of that was wrestling, because you're expecting here's the thing, Undertaker, and then people are like, woo! But instead it's just crickets. That was a mindfuck to watch those matches. Like everybody on the spectrum, I love wrestling. I also love weightlifting. I follow weightlifting sports. I'm like, what's the one with the most numbers? I want to do all the math. It's good. The weed doesn't help either. It really makes me acoustic. Gets me super restarted. It's tough, You hit the Benjamin, the Benjamin button, And like you're just trying to relax, and before you know it, you're like eating all of the food that isn't, you're not in your house, you're eating someone else's food. And it's brutal. I've been banned from the library recently. Not for anything weird, I just get really high and then I go on weird loopholes and just go on Wikipedia for 6 hours. They're worried about me scaring the homeless people. They're like, you gotta clean up your act, Jake. Stop smoking weed in the bathroom. That's what I pay my taxes for. That's the only time I'm like, I pay your salary, sir. Sir, Jake, you have to put it out. That's kind of a good move, Levi, right? If you just like have something smoking and you just don't. That's my ultimate power move. I don't have the confidence to do that. I'm gonna bring a cigar into an office meeting and they're like, you can't smoke in here. I'm like, right, no, so what's the proposal again? They're like, no, you have to put that out. I'm like, sure, right. I would love that level of confidence. But I'm Jewish, I'm not one of the cool ethnicities, you know? One of the nervous, anxious ones. It's brutal. I wish I was Italian. They're so much more confident than us. Better food, too. Although, to be fair, Jews, all we had to work with in terms of cuisine was like snow and anti-Semitism. So, like, we did a lot, considering. I feel like, you know? It's brutal. All right, the host left. I was going to ask how much time I have. You probably know.
4 minutes.
4 more minutes? Wow, I get too high and I have no concept of time. It's called object permanence, folks. I've turned into a dog.
Woo!
Did you guys leave? Where'd you go? When are you coming back? That's what weed turns you into. Let this be a warning. Riley's doing his best John Cena walk. I want to see you on WWE someday, bro. Yeah, brother. Oh man, I don't have the strength to do any of those moves. I'm just very acoustic, so I like the wrestling. My favorite version of a special needs guy who liked wrestling, he just had, you know how some people get the full-length cardboard cutouts of the wrestlers? My man combined the favorite special needs things. He got just the ring girls, and he'd have full cutouts of them. I didn't even know you could buy them. It would just be them in skimpy clothing. You'd be like, I like her, she's very sexy to me. Like, you know that's a cutout, right? And you'd be like, don't ruin this for me.
Dave,
Yeah.
I think it's funny that he said that he wants to do WWE. He'd be perfect for the fucking Money in the Bank thing.
Really? Oh yeah. Wasn't there a Jewish? There was a Jewish WE guy, like Goldberg, I think. He was just really bad. Like his thing was that he was in charge of like who won and stuff. I think. They're like, we hate you, Goldberg. You're not even good at wrestling. You're just Jewish. Oh shit! Speaking of tough Jewish jokes, I've been thinking a lot about the story of Rip Van Winkle, and I had to read that, you know, as a kid. Falls asleep for 100 years, wakes up, goes back into the town. Everything's changed a lot. What if Rip Van Winkle was Jewish? What would his name be? Like Short Van Keukel? And he goes into town and he's like, boy, things sure are expensive in here. It's been 100 years, the inflation's crazy. You know, he gets a little further into the town, somebody spits on him because he's Jewish. He's like, oh, they're still anti-Semitic. I'm going back to sleep. What? Until the, oh, Jesus. That was the sleepy decade. They were not woke. They got red-pilled. It's coming back. I'm scared. You guys following this Kanye shit? It was dystopian. For me, it's interesting that most people were not upset about the Nazism. They were upset that he fucked his cousin. Like, that was the line for people. They were like, don't do that. I'm like, he said Hail Hitler. Like, you should have objected earlier. Like, it's whack. All right, I think that's all I got for tonight, folks. I've been Jake Englander. Thanks very much.